Hey there, Book Dragons. It's time for my monthly update. Let's go. Thank you to my patrons. I really appreciate all you do to support the channel. So today you get to hear how my reading went in August, as well as a few other things I did in August. And then we'll talk about what I plan to do for September. All right? Before we do that, if you could please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Make sure you like this video if you enjoy it. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon, you can do that as well. Link in the description below. All right, let's get to it. So, August. Yeah. In my monthly update last month, I talked about how maybe my plans for August had been a bit more than I could chew. And I was kind of right. Not because it was a difficult amount of books or anything necessarily, although maybe I chose a few too many. We'll give it that. A lot of things were going on in August, to be honest with you. My son left for college in the middle of August, and that tore me up pretty good. I'm super proud of him, but I was still torn up by it. I got a little depressed, I'll be honest, and I fell into a reading slump as well. So, that happens sometimes, life gets to us and we don't get as much done as we want to. So I've learned to take myself in stride, and if I don't feel like reading, I just don't read. And so we won't belabor that anymore. Let's go ahead and talk about what I read in August. In fact, I'm going to list for you the books that I had planned to read in August, and I'll tell you what I did read and what I didn't. How's that? Get my glasses on here. I had planned to read Jade Legacy, White Knight, which is book 9 in the Dresden Files, Pyramids by Terry Pratchett, which is a Discworld book, Neverwhere, which was actually a reread for me, Royal Assassin, book 2 in the Farseer trilogy, Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks. That was a continuation for me from July. And Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I did read Dark Matter. I did read White Knight, book 9 of the Dresden Files. Well, it's me again, Editing Chaz. Just here to let you know that I actually did not finish Pyramids. I actually ended up DNFing it. So that was my one DNF for this month. It just wasn't working for me, so I DNF'd it. Originally, I had planned on being able to say that I had finished it, but I didn't. So here I am, there it is, and let's get back to the video. And I did read Neverwhere. I started Jade Legacy. I got a couple of chapters into it and didn't get back to it. Not that it's a bad book or anything, but I didn't get back to it. Same with Peace and Turmoil. I still didn't finish it, but I'm hoping to finish it this month. We'll talk about that. And I did not start Royal Assassin. Even though I had very much wanted to, I didn't get to it. Reading slumps, guys. It happens. So that's all that I got done. But despite having not read all the books that I had wanted to read in August, I did get some reading done, right? I completed a few books, and I'm actually damn proud of myself. So, despite everything that was going on, despite my severe reading slump and some melancholy regarding my son not being at home anymore, I made it through, and I actually got some decent reading done. So, I'm still going to pat myself on the back for that. I'm a mood reader, so sometimes I just don't get stuff read, and that's okay. I do also want to let you know that I had some amazing chats with some friends, 2 Chasm Friends episodes. I had Ursi on the channel from Circe's Booked, and I had Fina on the channel from Fina Reads. And I highly, highly recommend that you go watch those videos. enjoy those chats and conversations that I had with my friends, and make sure you subscribe to their channels, because they definitely deserve all the subscribers and all the love they can get. So that was a really great time. I enjoyed having fun with them. And I will have some more Chaz and Friends episodes coming in September. Before I move on to September, I do want to talk about some of the fun stuff I watched in August as well. I watched The Sandman with my daughter over a span of about 3 days. We binged the series, and I absolutely loved it. And then they released a bonus episode, and I watched that too, and I loved it. It was so amazing. And I did a review for the series. If you want to check that out, I will leave a card at the end of the video so you can click on it, or you can click the link in the description below. I'll have it there too. Go watch my Sandman review, and go watch Sandman, please. We really want Sandman to get renewed. And, if you've never read Sandman and you're not an Uber fan, that's fine. Go watch the series. You'll see why we want it to get renewed. It is so, so good. I also watched the final season of Lock and Key with my daughter. We've been huge fans of the show, and it was the final season, season 3, and it was absolutely amazing. I really loved the way the story wrapped up. They tied up the loose ends, and I thought the ending was really well done. And this was not one of those situations where Netflix canceled it at the last minute. They had originally planned to only do 3 seasons, so they got to complete the story arc. I'm so glad they did. It was great. Now I just have to go and read the Lock and Key graphic novels. And I'll get to that at some point. I do own all of them. And there's a Sandman crossover in the graphic novels. So I have that too. And I wish they could have done that with the show, but they didn't, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I think. Kind of. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I also watched Eternals for the very first time, Marvel's Eternals, and I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't the best Marvel movie I've ever seen, but it was entertaining and fun, and that's the most that you want from movies, right? Is to be entertaining and fun. It doesn't have to be this spectacular piece of cinema, but it was great. It was a lot of fun. So, speaking of Marvel, I also started watching She-Hulk, and oh my gosh, guys, She-Hulk is so much fun. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I won't say anything with spoilers or anything like that, but just know that you need to go watch She-Hulk. Tatiana Maslany is a Canadian actress who starred in Orphan Black. If you watched Orphan Black, you know what a brilliant actor she is. Go check out She-Hulk. She's phenomenal. And I also binged the entire 6 episodes of Miss Marvel. And oh my gosh, guys, that is one of the best Marvel shows on Disney+. It really is. I loved the focus on ethnicity and culture. I loved the coming of age story, as it were. There are so many things to love about Miss Marvel, and I think you should totally go watch it. Last but not least, I started watching House of the Dragon. And I know I had said I was going to finish Fire and Blood before I started the series, and I didn't get it finished yet, but I didn't want to be stuck in a world with spoilers all over social media. So I watched the first episode, and I absolutely loved it, guys. Patrick Leo put it correctly that it's like going back to the glory days of Game of Thrones. And just so many things in the score even harken back to Game of Thrones, and it's just so wonderful. I know there have only been a couple of episodes so far, but I'm absolutely eating it up, guys. So watch House of the Dragon. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, go watch it. If you've never watched Game of Thrones, I'm not sure where you've been, but you don't have to have seen Game of Thrones to enjoy House of the Dragon, because it's a prequel. So, yeah, go do it. Yeah, please watch House of the Dragon. It's so good. Okay, so now that I'm done gushing over TV shows, let's talk about books that I am going to read in September. And I am going kind of easy on myself for September. I do plan to finish Peace and Turmoil in September. That is a top priority goal for me. I need to get it finished. I really enjoy the book. I just got into that reading slump, so I'm going to finish Peace and Turmoil this month. I'm not going to do anything until I finish Peace and Turmoil. I'm also going to finish Jade Legacy. I did start it, but I didn't finish it, so I'm continuing Jade Legacy. I'm also going to read Strange the Dreamer. If you did not see my speed dating video where I speed dated 10 different books based on the first paragraph, go watch that video. If you want to pause this and go watch that video first, well, I guess I kind of already gave you a spoiler. Still go watch that video. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. So Strange the Dreamer ended up being my pick for September. I'm going to read Small Favor, which is book 10 in the Dresden Files. And Dresden books go super quick for me. And I know I'll be able to get through that one, no doubt about it, probably in 2 or 3 days max. I'm really loving the Dresden Files, and I can't wait to get to this next book. I'm also going to read Royal Assassin, book 2 in the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. I'm finally going to get to it. I am going to make that a top priority in September to make sure I get it read. And I'm very excited to see where the series goes. And finally, I am going to read Excalibur by Bernard Cornwell. This is the final book in the Warlord Chronicles, which is an Arthurian legend tale. And I absolutely loved the second book. The first book was okay, but the second book blew me away. So I can't wait to get to this. And I'm doing this one on audiobook, so I'll be able to listen to this in the car and crank through it pretty well. So I'm very excited to finally get to that. And that's it, guys. Those are my goals for September and the wrap up for August. Let me know what you thought of all of that mishmash of information, and let me know what you are reading in September. I would love to hear about it. And as always, guys, make sure you are reading more books. I'll talk to you soon.